What's up, Love Livers? It's finally time for us to go over the 5th poll for the Muse as voted by you guys. If you haven't had a chance to vote in the Aqua poll or the Nichigaku poll, those are still currently up. I'll keep them up a bit longer before I end up closing them. In my poll, I had the voters rate all the girls in the Muse from 1 through 9, which 1 meaning that is their best girl. As a disclaimer, this one has 886 votes. This is not an official poll, but it can give us a little insight to see what characters people tend to like. Let's see how the girls perform this time, and just as an FYI, if you ever see me highlight it brown, that's going to be 3rd best, silver or gray 2nd best, and yellow meaning the best. In 9th place with an average of about 6, we have Hanyo Koizumi. So Hanyo has a 5-peat in last place. I think you guys get the gist. Hanyo has been consistently proven to be the least loved by the majority of fans. From whatever fans, it's not that necessarily people tend to hate her, it's just she fails to appeal to a lot of fans, or just at least not as much. Hanyo has one of the least amount of 1st place votes with 65. She also has the most amount of 8th place votes and 9th place votes. Overall, Hanyo fails to impress many fans out there. In 8th place with an average of 5.30, we have Nico Yazawa. Nico has settled into 8th place. Nico's been a pretty polarizing character. She has a lot of 1st place votes. In fact, she has the 3rd most, but she also has the 2nd most votes for last place. Not a lot has changed since last time, so just another similar poll for Nico. In 7th place with an average of 5.16, we have Honoka Kosaka. Honoka keeps her place above Nico and Hanyo as usual. She did slightly better than last time, but she still struggles to get anywhere beyond that. Honoka has the least amount of 1st place votes with 63, which is about 7% of voters. She also has the most amount of 7th place votes with 132. Though she has the most amount of 3rd place votes for whatever that's good for. And even better, she has the least amount of last place votes with 65. So she isn't exactly loved, but she isn't exactly disliked that much either. In 6th place, with an average of 4.97, we have Rin Hoshizora. Rin so far has not repeated any places so far, so I guess she has that going for her. She actively moves around in the poll. She's in the middle pack for most placings, but her most common placing is 6th with 117, and her least common placing is 4th with 87 votes. In 5th place with an average of 4.91, we have Ellie Ayase. Ellie is in a similar situation to Honoka. She lacks a lot of 1st place votes with only having 65, but she also has a lack of 9th place votes with 72. Her most common placing is 4th place with 122 votes. Ellie also has not repeated a place like Rin, so she tends to bounce around as well. In 4th place with an average of 4.84, we have Kotari Minami. So Kotari takes a noticeable hit from last time. She has the 2nd least amount of last place votes with 68, but she also has the 4th least amount of 1st place votes with 91. Her most common placing is 5th with 128. So far, Kotari has only gotten even placings, so we'll see if she breaks that trend next time. In 3rd place with an average of 4.69, we have Nozomi Tojo, which reminds me of her birthday, which is on 6/9. Nozomi is the 2nd most improved this time as she keeps her 3rd place and she maintains her odd placing streak. Nozomi has the 2nd most 1st place votes with 133, which is 15% of votes. The votes are a bit more top heavy, which I guess is representative of her. Her least common placing is 5th place with 83 votes. In 2nd place with an average of 4.67, we have Umi Sonoda. Umi finally got her highest placing yet in this poll. Umi is the most improved this time, and that helped her get the highest placing that she's ever gotten, which is 2nd place. Umi has the most 2nd places with 123 votes, and a lot of votes are near the top half of the rankings. But she does have a smaller amount of 1st place votes than some other people. Though Umi has the 3rd least amount of last place votes. But who does Umi lose to? The winner of the 5th Muse poll goes to one who rules over all the other idols. The winner is one that captures everyone's hearts, and the one who gets the crown, making the Queen of Muse. That goes to none other than the incredible and seemingly invisible Tomato Maki Nishikino! Maki wins with an average of a 4.45. Despite having the 2nd worst differential compared to last time, she still wins, though not as dominant as last time. Maki has the most 1st place votes with 159, or about 18% of voters. She has a lot of votes in the top 3, and she only has 79 votes for last. So now let's go look at the demographics of the viewers. I asked for gender, age group, and country. So I'll see who is the favorite and least favorite from each demographic. So to save you some time, Hanyo is the worst in every category. So here is a snapshot of my spreadsheet, which is available if you go and click the link in the description. It shows you all the stats for all the different girls and the number of placings of each votes they got here, and as well as we'll go over the demographics here. So let's first take a look. Here is just a little chart to show you the distribution of the genders. So for males, we have Maki being really liked. Umi and Kotri do notably better, while Nozomi and Rin do noticeably worse. For females, which has about a 60% of the voters here, we have Nozomi taking first. Rin and Hanyo are liked a bit more by females, but females don't tend to like Maki as much. Maki seems to really appeal a lot to males more, and not so much to females, although she still does pretty well with females. Females tend to like Nozomi a bit more, and this trend has been pretty true for the last few polls that I've done. Let's take a look at countries. So for US males, which I'm doing this because there's a lot of people in the US in my polls, Umi does extremely well here. Maki still does well, just not as well, and Ellie does very well, taking third place overall. Hanyo and Rin do worse compared to males in general, so it seems to be Americans tend to not be as fond of Rin and Hanyo. For US females, Nozomi gets first, but not as a good average as just regular females overall. Umi and Ellie dips more here as well. Nico does a bit better though for US females. For Europeans, Nozomi wins, followed by Maki and then Kotri. Umi and Maki noticeably do a bit worse in this section. For Asians, we have Maki getting her best average yet here, so Asians tend to really like Maki. Monika, Nico, and Nozomi definitely struggle here though, but at least Hanyo does better here for whatever that's worth. So Maki tends to get love worldwide, though it's not as much for females. And Nozomi and Umi seem to fluctuate the most depending on the location. For age groups, let's start with the 10 to 14 year old. Maki still wins, but just barely beats out Nozomi. Nico does much better here as expected, and Rin also improves here too. Ellie, Hanyo, Honoka, and Umi all struggle for the younger voters. For 15 to 20 year olds, this is very close to the average, as it's a large percentage of the voters. Though I guess Umi and Hanyo do a bit better here, while Nozomi and Nico don't do as well. And for the older voters, which are 21 and older, Nico and Rin struggle, while Ellie and Kotri improve greatly. So overall, younger people tend to like goofy characters like Nico more, which makes sense. She's goofy and more relatable to younger voters. Older voters tend to not care for much for these goofy characters like Nico and Rin, who often give off more immature vibes. For subunits, BB wins as expected, Lily White kept it reasonably close, and Prontomp gets absolutely destroyed as expected. Lily White did improve from last time as well. Prontomp is clearly the least liked, as over 50% of voters gave it last place, and only 14% of people gave it first place. That's a yikes. Lily White did get first overall for US females, while BB basically won everything else. Lily White tends to do much better as the viewers get older, while BB tends to struggle with little older voters. Here's the overview of all the stats for you guys to look over. Again, this is available on my Google Sheet, so click on the link in the description if you want to get a whole overview or look at some previous polls as well as the other groups. As I promised, I'll list all the participants. Thank you guys for participating. I appreciate all the work that you guys put into this, and especially the ones in comments. Here are some of the comments that are given in for people who participate in my polls. I like to see what you guys think, and it's just really cool to have so many of you guys participate in these polls. If you want to participate in future polls, I have a link in the description, because Aquas and Nijigaku will be in there. Of course, I have created a new poll for the 6th poll for Muse, so if you want to participate at it, click on the link in the description, or click on another link in the description where I'll have a section for all of my polls. So this is my Google Sheet here, and this has a link to all my polls. The polls will be under the poll link header. If the poll is closed, it will have the result video, so if you wish to see the previous results, click on those. A bunch of the other polls are available as well under the other polls section, so if you wish to participate in more polls, check those ones out as well. So hopefully that clears up some confusion. I know I never explained it, but I know a lot of you do like participate polls, and I have a lot of them ready, just currently going, so this is one of the best ways I can be able to keep them all organized. And if you want to participate in all of them, go ahead and knock yourself out, and share with your friends if you're interested in that as well. Just one thing, since it's basically nothing is really major coming out for Muse at this point, I'm probably going to be slower with updating Muse polls, and I'm going to spend more effort updating on Nichigaku polls as well as Love Live Superstar once I get those rolling. So I'm going to keep those more active. So Aquabuzz, I'm going to also back off a bit because they're late in their life cycle here. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and voice your opinions in this poll. If you don't agree with these rankings, let your opinion influence these polls. The more, the merrier. Get your friends to vote as well. Link to all the polls are in the description. And stay tuned for Aquabuzz results, which I'll be working on pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.